My name is Alex, and I'm here with Irfan. Irfan, do you want to say hi?
Hi Alex, so nice to be here. How's it going?
It's going really well. I am super excited because we're starting a new chapter. Yay! Chapter
Yay.
2. Yes. We're going to learn about representing classes and tying them together with interfaces. It's going to be really, really fun, but we're going to start with section 1 first, which is relating complex information with classes. Once again, every video will be following from the AP Computer Science Done Right book. Every section will be one video, and the book is available on Amazon, either in an EPUB format, like an e-reader, or if you prefer to have a hard copy, you can also purchase it for as a paper copy as well. With that, let's get started. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready and excited and curious to see.
Excellent. All right, Irfan. Let's say Elizabeth, she wants to exercise to improve her health. This is an excellent idea. I highly recommend it for everyone else as well. Um, there are two kinds of exercises that she could do. She could either have cardio exercises or she can have strength exercise. You're very familiar with exercising. I imagine you know the difference between the two.
Okay.
Excellent. So, an example of a cardio is if she runs on a treadmill for 45 minutes, um, going over, let's say, 5 miles. That's a cardio exercise. Would you agree?
Exactly, yes.
Perfect. An example of a strength exercise, however, it's if Elizabeth completes 3 sets of tricep dips. Um, are you familiar with tricep dips?
Yes, I know them.
Excellent, very good. And they are, let's say, 12 kilograms. And let's say each set takes about 7 minutes to complete. And each exercise also burns some calories, right?
Yes.
So let's say the 45-minute run burns about 140 calories for Elizabeth, and the strength exercise only burns about 80 calories. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
Excellent. All right. If you recall from previous sections and videos, our one true purpose as programmers is to convert all this information into data. Would you agree?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to represent this, I should say. Represent this information as data. So um, let's think about how we would represent this. How would we represent strength exercises and cardio exercises um, with an exercise class?
So I think we need to create different classes for cardio and strength exercises.
Sorry, you're giving away the answer. I'm going to go back.
Oh.
Yes, 1 second. So we should start with one class first.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me go back and change it to black instead. Okay. So let's talk about how we could represent this. We could have an exercise class, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in exercise class, um, let's say we know we need to have a name, so we can have string name, and we might care about whether it's cardio or strength. How could we represent that?
Um, Sorry, could you repeat?
So in the exercise class, we want to see if it's a cardio class or a strength class. So how can we represent that in our exercise class?
So we need to write the name of the class, right?
So the name is the exercise name. So it's actually like the exercise name. So it could be like um, a run, let's say.
Okay.
But what I'm alluding to here is the type of exercise. So we can have another string that has the exercise type.
Yes, you're right.
And this can be either cardio or strength. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yes.
Okay. What else? What other field would you say are important to have in the exercise class, given what we know about our exercises?
So we know that there's an amount of calories that will be burned.
Yeah.
So we would have int calories, for example.
Yes.
If we consider it a whole number, of course.
I would agree. Okay. What else?
Then there's going to be the amount that you have ran, for example, the distance.
The distance, okay. So for the distance, let's say it's also an integer. For the distance, it only makes sense for cardio exercises, right? Like if you're doing tricep dips, it doesn't really make any sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. Only for cardio. All right. What else is important?
I think the duration of the exercise time is going to be important as well.
Okay, so we can have duration. That's probably for both, I would say, because it's 45 minutes of cardio and 7 minutes of strength exercise.
Yes, right.
What else?
And I think since you have written kilograms in the strength exercises, we may have a field for weight too.
But this doesn't make any sense for cardio, right? It's only for strength.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What else should we need?
The sets are also remaining, I think.
Right, exactly. So we can also add sets. Okay. The point I want to make here is if you take a look at our exercise class, we have some fields that are good for both classes, both types of classes. We have this weird string thing that, can be a cardio or a strength. And then we have a bunch of fields that would either have to be like 0 or, not set for one type of exercise and then set for another type. Do you see this?
Yes, right. I think they're more complex than that.
Exactly. And it's just like not good design to have a bunch of fields that are not going to be used for several of different kinds of classes. So instead, what if we have the idea that we could create it into two different classes? Because they are, even though they're similar, they're different enough to have two different classes. Would you agree?
I would agree, yes.
Excellent. So to have our separate classes, how should we start? What could be one example of a class?
I think there are going to be different class names as well. For example, strength exercise and cardio exercise.
Excellent. Yes. Let's start with the cardio exercise. So we have class cardio exercise. All right. What can we have?
So now, from the information that we have, we know that it's going to have a name, distance, duration, and calories. These are specific to cardio exercise only.
Yes. So it's going to have a name. What makes a great programmer a great programmer?
The comments.
Yes. Name of exercise. Such as running. All right. You said name. You said, what else did you say?
An amount of calories are going to be burnt as well.
Uh-huh.
It's int calories.
Mm-hmm.
And then a distance that you have ran, for example.
Okay. And I think you said duration as well.
Duration, right. We can add the units as comments if you want.
Perfect. Yes. So the distance is probably in kilometers, and the duration is just going to be in minutes.
Makes sense.
Perfect. What else should I add in my class?
Now we need to add the constructor.
Yes, perfect. Need to add the constructor. I'm going to try and add it in with blue, maybe, so that you can see it's a different thing. So it's cardio exercise, and then we need to have the things that it takes in, right?
Exactly.
All right, so it's name, int calories, int distance. Oops, added a semicolon instead of a comma. Int distance and int duration. All right, what do I do with a constructor? How do I make it work?
We refer to the information with this dot name.
Exactly. So this dot name. So we're
Gets
saying,
name.
yep, perfect.
This dot calories gets calories. This dot distance gets this distance. Then for the duration as well.
Perfect. Alrighty. Now we essentially have our entire class, and essentially we have the cardio exercise defined. Now we just need to do the same thing for strength exercise, right?
Yes, exactly.
Alrighty. So I'll start again with class strength exercise. What fields should I have for class exercise?
Again, I think first we would start with the string name.
Yes, perfect.
Then we would have weight.
We can have it as a int.
Int, exactly. We can write the unit in kilograms.
Perfect.
We would have stats. We can have int rep, abbreviation of repetition.
Yep. How many reps you're gonna do? Perfect. Anything about repetition? Well, we know for sure it will never be a negative number, right?
Yes.
It is never negative. Okay. What else?
I think duration can be written again.
So the duration for cardio is a little bit different than strength. We're not saying how long the entire exercise will take, because that depends on, like, if you take breaks and whatnot. But we can say the duration or the time per rep.
Okay, that makes
Right?
sense.
So each rep will take like 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever. And that can be potentially in seconds, I would say. Instead of minutes. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, yes.
Excellent. And what else? I think we also just need the calories, right?
Exactly.
And it's got to be the total exercise, not just one rep. All right, great. I am not going to spend too much time on the constructor because I think we have learned this in previous classes. So we're just going to say constructor. Whoops, construction. Constructor. And we all know like this dot name gets name, this dot weight gets weight, this dot rep, this dot time per rep, and this dot calories. All make sense?
All makes sense, exactly.
Excellent. Okay. So now we essentially have information about strength exercise and cardio exercise. They're very different and they have their own mold. Let's make an example of a strength exercise. So remember how we talked about the tricep dips?
Yes.
Excellent. So for the example, I'm going to use a different color. This is all about colors today.
Okay.
Red seems too much. That'd be great. All right. So we're going to do a strength exercise. Let's give an example of the tricep dips. Are you ready for that?
Okay, yes.
Okay. I'm going to call them T-dips. Gets. Remember how we created a new example of something? We have new, the keyword in Java. And it's going to be a new strength exercise, right?
Right, yes.
Strength exercise. And we're going to give it the name T-dip. TD, actually. And let's see, the weight is going to be 15 kilograms. The repetitions is going to be 3 reps. And each rep is going to take 40 seconds, let's say. And for calories, it's going to burn 20 calories total. Does that make sense?
I would agree, yes, makes sense.
Perfect. So how would you create an instance of a cardio exercise that, let's say, burns 100 calories and it's a 4-kilometer swim in 20 minutes? How would you
Okay, we can make another example. For example, cardio exercise like run, let's say.
It was going to be a swim, but we can make it a run. Okay.
Will be by the order. Wait, how was the order in the cardio exercise? So new cardio exercise and then
it has a name, calorie, distance, duration.
Okay. So it will be a new cardio exercise.
New cardio exercise. Name.
Let's say run.
Mm-hmm.
For 4 kilometers.
I think it was name, calories, then distance and duration. So
okay. So 100 calories, you said, right?
Yep, 100 calories. Duration of 4 kilometers. And sorry, duration first, then distance. So how long does it take? 20 minutes?
20 minutes and 4 kilometers.
Perfect. All right, now you can create these two examples. Are you ready for your
Perfect.
favorite part?
Yes, let's say.
Let's do this. All right, let's go for the homework. All right. You accidentally traveled back in time, Irfan, and are now stuck in a poor neighborhood in the 1800s. Um, it's very sad. And you can only afford to eat bread. Thankfully, you've come from this age and know the different exciting breads that people have. So there are some leavened breads and some unleavened. There's lavash, which I hope you're familiar with. There is injera bread. There is pumpernickel, which apparently is a German kind, and sourdough. So I'd like you to represent, um, bread overall, which requires the kind of flour, um, number of calories, how much calories that bread will have, and how much love they require. Make sense?
I love these types of exercises. Yes, makes sense.
Perfect. Then the second part of this problem is that the difference between bread is when you buy them. So for lavash and injera, you buy them per count. So I would like one injera or one lavash, let's say. But for pumpernickel and sourdough, you buy them. Um, you have to weigh them essentially and pay per, per pound or per kilogram or however whatever unit the country you're in uses. So I'd like you to design a method that returns the cost of buying a bread. So cost of bread. And it's either going to be given their number of bread that you're requiring, or given their weight as an int.
Perfect.
Excellent. Any questions?
No questions, all clear.
Perfect. Have a great rest of your day and see you next class.
You too, see you.